do, then the red and the white and the blue will come through when Captain America throws his mighty cane.
What is up, guys? Arolf here, back again with another video, and today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends 80th Anniversary Captain America. So let's get into it. Take a look around the packaging. On the top, you got nothing. You got that nice Alex Ross artwork on both sides. Same thing on the back with a brief description, so pause and pause if you want to look and read at those. And on the bottom, you have the UPC. Scan it if you want it, if you could find it. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now doing some size comparisons, here's Captain America next to a couple of comic book figures. You could see he kind of fits well with Iron Man and Thor right there. Also a couple of MCU figures like the figures that were reviewed a couple of days ago like Black Widow and Taskmaster. Moving right along to Captain America's accessories, you get an alternative head sculpt. Now comparing this to the one that you get on the figure, I really do prefer the one on the figure as opposed to this alternative. It's pretty much the exact same sculpt. They actually tweak the ears a little bit and tweak the eyes and the mouthpiece as well. The eyes look a little bit off. They look a little bit too spread out for me. And it looks just derpy, so I really don't like the facial expression as well. It doesn't look that great as opposed to the one that you get right here, which I think I prefer a little bit better. He also gets a pair of fists here, which have been remolded out of regular human hands because these are supposed to be gloved. You can see how the thumbnails are actually sculpted in, so I guess that's a way of Hasbro's way of saving money and cutting corners, which is okay. But you can see that's what it looks like on the figure. Moving right along to the throwing little shield accessory here. Hand is kind of semi-translucent under these bright lighting conditions. But they are kind of fine in a regular lighted situation. You can see how the shield is pegged on there. You could actually rotate it as well because of the peg, and just showing you how heavy it is on the figure because on my figure the arm joint is kind of loose, so that's my situation right there. I don't know about yours, but just showing you the articulation over there. But getting into some poses, it does look pretty nice. It's just hard to find the right pose. You also get the shield, which is pretty much basic painting. You can see the clasp and the peg, which is double purpose. Also, you could also clip it on right there. I don't really like these clips because they tend to degrade over time. When you keep clipping it onto the wrist, the clip itself tends to kind of stretch out the plastic and tends to break once you force it there aggressively. You could also have it pegged onto the hand here if you want a different option of holding the shield. So I kind of prefer this way other than clipping it on. Also, it's double purpose with this peg because you can actually peg it onto the back since he has a peg hole on the back right here, which I think sits a little too high on the figure. I don't know, it just doesn't look right. I wish it was a little bit lower, but that's that. And so taking a closer look at Captain America here, starting off with the head sculpt, pretty much basic paint sculpt. There's no digital printing tech. I wish they applied it to this one or comic book figures in general, because I really don't like the flat look to it as opposed to the printing tech that they use, which kind of adds more shading and more depth to the head sculpt itself. But you can see me wiggling the head here. It's very loose on mine. It is smooth when you rotate it and move it around, but it's just a little bit loose on my figure, which is quite unfortunate. Now looking at the inner piece right here, you can see that terrible open gap near the front of the torso here. And you can see this little chain scale mail armor is a separate rubbery piece on top of that hard plastic below it. I do like it, kind of adds depth to it, and you won't be able to get these little sculpting details as you would as a solid piece of plastic. So I really like that, but I don't know how it will fair over time because the rubber could degrade or discolor, so be on the lookout for that. And the rest of the costume itself is pretty much basic paint details. You can see the belt here is made out of a rubbery plastic. You can move it out of the way to get more articulation, or you could just leave it down there and rotate the waist as well. The legs here are molded out of a navy blue plastic, kind of a discoloration between the hip joint and the thigh itself, so that's kind of off. And you can see me moving the feet here. My figure unfortunately has a longer leg, so the left leg is a little bit longer than the right, so it does look like he's kind of leaning over to the left side here, or his right, your left. And you can see peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Now for the articulation, the head is on a ball hinge, so it does rotate all the way around. It can look up that far, and you could shift it back since he does have a quite a big of a hole gap in the head sculpt here. He can look down a lot, which is very nice. A little tilty shifty head movement and a little shifting forward and back movement right there. The arms do rotate all the way around quite loosely. They bend a little over 90 degrees, which is nice, and inward quite a bit. It's kind of a little off on one arm here, kind of bends in more on the other. You got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, no forearm rotation, but the wrists rotate all the way around, up that far, down that much, the usual. The chest here is on a hinge, so it can bend forward that far. Okay range, back that much, which is great, but that hole right there is very annoying. I also get a waist swivel, which rotates all the way around. Legs kick forward pretty high, so I can sit down properly like so, no problem there. Back quite a bit, but not a lot though. You also get a upper thigh swivel right there, a double jointed knees. You also get a boot rotation, which I like, all the way around. Feet bend down that far, you get some nice range right there. Up that much, which is also good, not great. And you also get the ankle pivot. Now his legs move outward that far, almost can do the splits. And right here, doing the ankle pivot test, no problem here because of that boot rotation. He is good to go. So yeah, that is it guys. Hope you guys like it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the bell to be notified when I upload a new video. Now this video is coming out today, which is about, what is it, June 14th right now. And Stanley will be uploaded tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that, 1 p.m. Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. Now, overall, I really do like this Captain America figure. That's the reason why I bought it. So, just to complete the Alex Ross roster with Iron Man and Thor, having this figure, hard to find, having to pay a little over retail. I'm okay with that because this figure is kind of worth it for me. I really do like the sculpt. The proportions are Captain America. You get your classic Captain America overly muscular sculpt here. The accessories are lackluster. I wish they gave him open hands. Not the one on the throwing shield hand. I wish that was a separate hand. The head sculpt, the alternative, is not that great. He kind of looked cockeyed with the eyes kind of a little split apart here, which is quite disappointing. The shield itself is really nice. Even though that they use that clip peg system, I wish they had straps so it would look better and it'll look more comic accurate, but it does work. You do get attachments and storage for the shield, so that's, I guess, a bonus if you look at it that way. But overall, I really do like this figure. There are a lot of QC defects on mine, which is quite unfortunate, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is it guys, Arolf signing out, peace.
All those who chose to oppose his shield must yield. If he's led to a fight and a